Hello, welcome to Tarot to a T. Today we're going to do a mid-November 2022 reading for the sign of Taurus. If this is your first time, welcome to my channel. If you're returning, thank you for coming back. Good to see you again. So this is an open-ended general reading. I'm going to ask what Taurus needs to hear. What message does Taurus need to hear for mid-November? That's an obvious flip there. What else can we say for Taurus in their message? What knowledge does Taurus need to have for mid-November at a situation? Okay. Pretty cut and dry. Let's do some cards of advice and then we'll get started. Cards of advice. Wow, okay. It's a bit of a concoction there of cards. One more card, please, or more than one, if it needs to be. Not half the deck. Okay, we'll take those. Okay, let's see what's going on in Taurus's world. 9 of Clubs, something completed for you that you're feeling very content about. It's basically a card of achievement is what I'm trying to say. Like something you've been planning or working on for a while, and it's finally come to its ending, and it's reaped the rewards that you were expecting. Very nice. 6 of Diamonds. It could have to do with some finances. 6 of Diamonds talks about options and opportunities that you have before you or are unfolding. New ways to take financial responsibility, taking care of things that have been neglected for a while, perhaps paying off debt, those types of things. 4 Diamonds, yes, whatever completed here has brought you some abundance, a fair amount of it. 4 Diamonds is the windfall card. It's also a card that warns against excessive spending. I don't think we have to worry about that with Taurus, though. It's not usually their issue. Unless you have other influences in your chart that sabotage you that way. Most Tauruses I have been affiliated with are pretty practical with money. 8 of Spades, it might have been some stressful work situation that has come to an end, that you've been working very hard. It's caused some physical, mental stress. You're just kind of burnt out. That's kind of the workaholic card. Whatever it is, I think the indication with this 8 of Spades is you've worked very, very hard. Put in a lot of hours, a lot of effort to achieve something. And you have. You have. What else can you tell me about Taurus's beautiful financial situation? Well, things are kind of up in the air. Colorized Joker is also the Magician card. Magician energy can be taken different ways, honestly. My typical take on it is you have some forces that are at play or are going to be in play that are going to change the course of events. You know, it's that kind of thing. Probably unexpected, not things that you can foresee. But the Joker energy does talk about that kind of unsettled energy, and things just kind of beating up in the air. For some reason, I always associate Joker with a gesture, and because it has that picture on it, but also the energy of juggling. So that's what I mean by unsettled. Things are just getting kind of shifted around in a controlled way, perhaps, but still not settled. What else can you tell me about Taurus and their situation here? This stressful work situation. You know what? Your last couple of readings actually, we're talking about you being out of your comfort zone, embarking on a new financial opportunity, a career, a new mode of working that kind of took you away from the home. So that, interestingly, it's wrapping up. Maybe it was a short-term project. The 4 of Clubs talks about security and stability in the home life. again, there's a sense of balance and contentment. I think you're getting some of that stability back that you lost for a while. Doesn't necessarily mean you're back at home, but especially with this Joker energy, I'm sensing there still may be a little bit of flux, but I think you've reached some kind of plateau is not the right word, but you're like on level ground now. You're not so disturbed by what you've had to do to make this happen. Again, that's indicated by the Eight of Spades. This was very stressful on you, and if you've watched my readings for October, go back. You're welcome to go back and review those. It was very much about you being out of your comfort zone and pursuing some kind of I'm getting like it's like remote work. You're like a contractor. Maybe you had more flexibility on your earning potential. You know, it was along those lines. But the thing about Taurus is they like their stability and their security. They like to have their 2 feet on the ground. And I think you were in this state of flux, which was very unsettling and disturbing for you. Just it would disturb anybody, honestly, but I think it affected you particularly, and was very stressful. Jack of Hearts. So you've got your heart open to this. Whatever's, you've got a handle on it now, and you've opened your heart to it. It does come along with a sense of vulnerability with this Jack of Hearts. This could also represent a water sign. You could have water in your chart, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. Somebody who's younger than you. I'm kind of getting, though, it's more about your energy, though. This being new to you, that you are open to ideas that I don't like I said, I don't think it came very easy for you to adjust to this. I don't want to emphasize the stubbornness of Taurus, but Taurus gets stuck on ideas, and they have again, it's all about comfort zones. You have very, very fixed ideas about what you're comfortable with. And when that gets disturbed, hey, I'm a fixed sign too. I understand that whole fixed energy. You like some predictability in what's happening. You don't like the chaos. And I think in this situation, for some reason, whatever it involved a little bit of just chaos and turbulence and not being settled. There's not much more I can expressed with that, but you have reached some kind of awesome prosperity here. It's completed some kind of cycle. This was like a major challenge for you to overcome, and it's completed some major cycle in your life. It's just like something you needed to go through, something you probably learned a lot from, but it's brought a lot of success and prosperity along with it. We already saw that here, right? But what's exciting is this earning potential that you were looking forward to is definitely there. It's still there. I don't think it's over. And you're starting to perhaps see the end of the tunnel and reap the rewards right about now. Okay. Yes, very much a new beginning with the Ace of Clubs, and it's about learning new skills and developing new talents, learning, kind of gathering new information. I think you've gone through a significant growth process, Taurus. I congratulate you. Like I said, if you want to review those previous readings that you didn't catch, you can go to my channel and look for your playlist. Find them that way. Also, towards the end of the video, there'll be a card that pops up in the right-hand corner. It'll say Tarot Readings Taurus, something along those lines. You can click on that, and it'll lead you to your playlist. But definitely, you're headed in a new direction. It's not so crazy, and you're not feeling so out of your element. Queen of Spades. The energy she carries is, if you've heard me talk about her, she's a little bit mysterious. She holds things back. She doesn't express a lot. I'm still getting this as some kind of energy that you're experiencing. Perhaps you're not you're not discussing with anyone your feelings. I think one of your last readings you were being encouraged to use the support around you and talk to, a confidant, a family member, your spouse, whoever, about what you were going through. It's just like you needed to vent. Could be that you're going back into your previous mode of kind of keeping things to yourself with the Queen of Spades. She does have some power and authority. These queens they're not as dominating and controlling as the kings, and it's not gender. We're not looking at gender. We're just looking at energy, okay? It could be somebody around you. I just want to mention, I'm not picking that up that there's a person around you. Maybe there is. Maybe there's some kind of supervisor or business partner that's not revealing a whole lot. Again, they're kind of keeping things to themselves, and you just kind of got an eye on them. I'm picturing like having an eye on somebody like out of the corner of your eye. You're kind of watching them. You're like, okay, everything's fine, but I'm going to keep an eye on you, But it could be an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, if this is not you. Yeah. Let's go ahead and look at your cards of advice. Yeah, you came out of this kind of dark period with this Ten of Spades. There was something devastating about this, really traumatic for you. Again, that's completed. When I see these tens, they show up in the cards of advice. It tells me that it's gone, it's over. It's not like something it's upon you that you're experiencing at the moment. Especially with this Four of Spades. Talks about security and stability in the home, but this also talks about there existing some kind of past stress that you're now experiencing a degree of stress relief, which I was just saying, I think very strong indication here that things have settled down for you in a huge way. I think you'd agree. And that period of turmoil is gone. It's done. Five of Spades, you're still separated. Yeah, this is that card of separation. I know this came out in both October readings. I know it did. I don't even have to go back and check. Separation doesn't necessarily be for, like a breakup, like a marriage. It's just somebody being away from home, a person, a family, a group of friends, and it affects you emotionally. That's why you have the hearts. Literally, this card is about like going off to college, going off to work remotely. Bingo. Six of Hearts. Very nice. So, if you're not in a relationship, Six of Hearts talks about options and opportunities presenting themselves and opening up the possibility for meeting somebody significant. It basically means the way is clear for you to pursue relationships. You're not carrying around any baggage. You don't have any residual effects from a past relationship going forward. It's may not be relevant for all of you, especially if you are in a committed relationship already. But it could just mean that you're open now to fostering significant relationships, whether they be professional, friendships. Relationships don't always have to be romantic. People come in and out of our lives and they play different roles. So I don't like to focus on love. It's not always about love. It could be, though. If it fits your situation, you can certainly take it that way. The Five of Spades, again, this is that card that was coming out in those last readings. This is about disruption, unexpected changes in the home situation. You're still kind of, looks like you are still kind of grappling with that. I just think you've kind of put it into place. You've perhaps compartmentalized it. It's just the thing you have to deal with. It's not nothing you can change about it, nothing you can control about it. It's just something you have to go through and deal with. The Three of Clubs, does talk about the struggle and the fight the fight that's involved with this disruption. It's very curious here because so we're talking about the stress relief on one hand, but you're still separated and you're still going through disruption in your lifestyle. But I think, like I said, I think you're at this place of handling it better. It's not nearly as disturbing as it has been. I think you're adjusting. But there's definitely an emphasis here on nurturing relationships and being open to them. So I'm not sure how that would fit in. Like I said, it could be professional, it could be friendships, but that might speak to somebody or persons specifically. If you've been desiring perhaps to pursue relationships, that energy is free. I don't know if I've ever talked in your videos about when we have energy wrapped up in a situation, especially if it's stressful, there's a lot of pain involved, a lot of grief. That energy is locked up. You can't use that in other areas of your life. And I feel like when one energy is resolved in some way, like a healing, or just going through the process of, grieving a loss, for example, that energy is freed up to be used in other areas of your life. And I think that's when these new options and opportunities can come in. Otherwise, we kind of set up a block, and they can't come in because we're too preoccupied. Yeah. See what else we can pull out for cards of advice. Oh, for Taurus. Four of Hearts. Yeah, you're feeling very supported and connected here in your home life. So if you are away from home, perhaps you have left somebody at home. You're feeling the support from that. This will probably be more relevant to Tauruses who are in a long-term relationship. Doesn't necessarily mean if you're not in a long-term relationship you don't have that support, though. You could have grown kids, you could have family, you could have friends who are right there with you, helping you through this. Because I know in that last reading about you needing to turn to someone for support, well, you still have that going on. 3 of Diamonds. So there's a little bit of, how should we say, a little bit of a lack of clarity around money matters. I'm not sure, again, if I remember from the last reading, there was a question or the possibility that the new income that you are looking at, the new ways of making money, of accumulating abundance, there's just like something was unclear about it. I do remember that. This card kind of speaks the same thing. It means that there's a third element that's affecting it. I don't know, again, if you're like working on contract now, and so you get like a, a commission. The commission type of situation where that third element is basically, how much work you put in and how good you are at, especially if it's sales, closing the sales. But there's an indication here that some communication needs to still occur. And there's something affecting it that's coming. Again, there's like another element. Maybe you're having a hard time maintaining the enthusiasm or the energy that's needed to complete the tasks every day. Maybe I know people whose energy fluctuates from day to day. I think Taurus is one of those. They like to take their time. They're not sprinters. They're not necessarily manic people who run on high energy all the time. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just kind of a personality trait. An analogy would be the Taurus represented by the bull or the cattle in the pasture. They like to graze. You know, they like to take their time. Like I said, I don't know Tauruses that run unless they're mad, and that's a completely different situation. I don't know why I'm going off on that tangent, so it might be very relevant for someone out there. They're just having maybe a hard time keeping up the energy levels that are required of you. Possibility. The Seven of Clubs, experiencing a bit of a feeling of kind of being trapped. It came out with the Three of Diamonds. I think it's, again, it has to do not with a home situation, but maybe from time to time when this energy is not consistent, or you're unable to just muster it up, you feel like you're not getting anywhere. That's the energy of the Seven of Clubs. So there's still some challenges going on with whatever this adventure is that you're on, no doubt. But I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I don't think it's something to be resolved. I see this as an experience that you need to go through. Again, develop inner strength and learn some things about yourself, and that, you know, all things come to an end. It's not like it's going to go on forever, right? Two of Diamonds. Again, emphasis on investments, some abundance here. This is actually, again, a very positive outlook on finances, even though there may be a bit of confusion about... I keep getting with that confusion. It's about you maintaining the levels that you have had to put out, the output. And I think being perhaps away from your home and your living situation adds to some of that stress. It depletes some of your energy. I mean, that would be stressful on anyone, honestly. But this is about balance and harmony in your finances. So you're still, I still see you on a very positive trajectory with this. It's a process that's unfolded. It's something that's just, you've just gotten started with in the last couple of months. I still see it going in a very positive direction, but there's still some challenges. And there's this little glimmer of hope with relationships. However, that, you know, maybe you're not concerned about relationships, but the opportunities are there. You know, if you are away from home and you're traveling a lot, you know, the potential for meeting new people, you know, obviously grows exponentially. So just keep that in mind with this, even if you're not actively pursuing relationships. I think I'm going to wrap it up there. It's a nice, solid reading. It's, again, a continuation of a theme that started, I think it was around the beginning of October. Might have even been the reading before that, end of September. Anyway, thank you for joining me. If you'd like to see the next video or be notified when the next video comes out, hit subscribe, notifications, or save a video so you can find my channel again. YouTube is not the greatest if you're trying to do a search. I've discovered that myself. I've lost channels and lost track of people. If I didn't at least save the video so you can find it again, it makes it a lot easier. Just a little advice. Anyway, take care until I see you again.